Remember the milk crate challenge? Of course you do. It was everywhere. For a hot minute in the scorching summer of 2021, it felt like the entire internet decided that gravity was just a suggestion. People, grown adults, were stacking flimsy plastic milk crates into a wobbly pyramid of certain doom. The goal? Climb up one side and down the other. The result? A symphony of cracked plastic bruised egos, trips to the emergency room. Doctors literally had to go on the news and say, please, for the love of all that is holy, stop climbing the milk crates. It was a public health crisis fueled by a desire for 15 seconds of viral fame. Now look, I get it, we've all done dumb things, but this was different. This wasn't just a dare between friends in a backyard. This was a global phenomenon, broadcast live for an audience of millions. Every fall was a potential hit. Every successful climb was a ticket to momentary stardom. People were risking dislocated shoulders, fractured ribs, not for a gold medal, not for a cash prize, but for likes, for comments, for the algorithm to bless them and share their glorious or disastrous ascent with the world. It was a perfect, almost poetic example of where we are as a society, willing to risk actual physical harm for a fleeting digital thumbs up. Think about the sheer absurdity of it. We have people training their entire lives to compete in the Olympics, pushing the limits of human potential for a shot at glory. And then we have someone in their driveway with a cell phone propped up on a garbage can, attempting to scale a tower of dairy transportation devices. So why are people doing this? The answer is a single seductive word: influencer. It's the new dream job of the 21st century. Forget astronaut, forget doctor, forget firefighter. Kids today want to be famous for just being. They see people with millions of followers getting free stuff. They see people traveling to Dubai. They see people making six figures by pointing at text bubbles on a screen. It looks easy, it looks glamorous. It's the ultimate shortcut to a life that seems devoid of any real work or responsibility. The title influencer has become a new kind of social currency, a declaration that you are important simply because a lot of people are watching you. But here's the deep dive. To get there, you have to feed the beast. And the beast, the algorithm, is always hungry. It demands content, constant daily, hourly content. You're not just a person anymore, you're a content creator. Your life becomes a series of potential posts. That beautiful sunset, not a moment to enjoy, but a backdrop for a reel. That delicious meal, gotta get the perfect lighting before you take a bite. Your every waking moment is monetized, packaged, and sold for engagement. The pressure to stay relevant is immense, which is why people resort to increasingly desperate measures like, say, climbing a precarious stack of milk crates. The very definition of influence has been warped. Martin Luther King Jr. was an influencer. Marie Curie was an influencer. They influenced society through their actions, their intellect, their moral courage. Today, an influencer is someone who can convince you to buy a specific brand of teeth whitening strips. Let's break down the science. It's simple, really. Every time you get a like, a comment, a share, your brain gets a tiny hit of dopamine. It's the same chemical that's released when you eat delicious food, fall in love, win at something. It's a reward. Social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram have been engineered to exploit this neurological loop. The notifications, the red hearts, the endless scroll. It's all designed to keep you hooked. It's a slot machine in your pocket. You're pulling the lever every time you post, hoping for a jackpot of validation. This turns human connection into a numbers game. A post with 10,000 likes feels more valuable than one with 10. A video with 1 million views makes you feel more important than one with 1,000. We've outsourced our self-worth to a faceless digital crowd. Instead of building confidence through real-world skills, relationships, we're seeking it from fleeting approval of strangers. A friend telling you good job in person feels less impactful than 100 anonymous comments saying the same thing. We are training our brains to value shallow, widespread praise over deep, meaningful connection. Think about a conversation. It used to be an exchange of ideas. Now it's about creating a soundbite. People will go on a date and think this would make a funny TikTok. Someone records a family disagreement for a story time video. Real life is no longer lived, it's documented, edited, curated. The obsession with likes has turned participants into broadcasters, constantly performing for an audience that may not even be paying attention. It's an unwinnable game, but one we feel compelled to play, one dopamine hit at a time. Let's put this in perspective. On one hand, you have Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, one of the lead scientists who developed the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Her work saved millions of lives. It was the result of years of thankless, grueling research, long nights in a lab, and an unwavering dedication to science. Her achievement is tangible, world-altering, and will be remembered by history. Her reward is the knowledge that she fundamentally changed the course of a global pandemic. On the other hand, you have a TikTok star who gets famous for supergluing a cup to their hand. They might get 50 million views, they might get a sponsor for a different brand of superglue. For a week, they are the talk of the internet. They become a meme. But what have they actually built? What have they contributed? A month later, no one remembers their name. Their achievement is ephemeral, a puff of smoke in the vast, chaotic winds of the internet. It leaves no lasting impact on the world other than perhaps a few people with sticky hands. We've created a culture where the digital thumbs up is seen as equivalent to, or even more desirable than, a real-world trophy. Learning to play the guitar is hard. It takes months, even years, of practice, calloused fingers and frustration. But mastering a 15-second dance trend that will be irrelevant by Tuesday, that's easy. It gives you the same, if not a bigger, immediate rush of validation. So why would anyone choose the hard path? Why spend a decade becoming a master carpenter when you can become a famous prankster in a weekend? We are systematically incentivizing shortcuts over craftsmanship. This isn't about shaming people for having fun on social media. It's about the societal shift in what we value. When our heroes are no longer pioneers, artists and thinkers, but are instead people who are simply famous for being famous, we are in trouble. When the goal is no longer to build a business, write a book, or make a discovery, but to simply accumulate followers, we have lost our way. We are trading the pursuit of excellence for the pursuit of attention, and that is a terrible, terrible trade. What does this all mean for us, for society? It means we are in the middle of a great human downgrade. We are actively encouraging the dumbing down of our culture. We are celebrating foolishness and sidelining substance. The algorithms that run these platforms are not designed to elevate humanity. They are not designed to promote critical thinking, deep knowledge, genuine talent. They are designed for one thing and one thing only: to keep your eyeballs glued to the screen for as long as possible. The most effective way to do that is a constant stream of shocking, silly, low-effort content. This has real-world consequences beyond just bad taste. It erodes our ability to focus. It shortens our attention spans to mere seconds. It replaces nuanced debate with hot takes and tribal pile-ons. It makes us impatient with anything that requires deep thought or sustained effort. Why read a book when you can watch a 60-second summary? Why learn a complex skill when you can get more praise for doing something moronic? We are rewiring our collective brain to crave instant gratification and to reject anything that is difficult or slow. This is not progress, this is a regression. The obsession with social media fame is creating a generation of people who have public personas but no private selves. Their identities are built on a foundation of sand, shifting with every new trend and every fluctuation in the algorithm. This is a recipe for a mental health catastrophe. When your self-worth is tied to something as volatile as your view count, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of anxiety and disappointment. True fulfillment, the kind that lasts, comes from within. It comes from achieving real goals, building real relationships, contributing to the world in a meaningful way, not from the empty applause of a digital mob. Look, we have to wake up. We are trading our potential, our ambition, and our very humanity for cheap entertainment and fleeting digital fame. The fall of humanity won't be a dramatic explosion. It will be a quiet, scrolling descent into irrelevance. Don't let the algorithm decide it for you.